What's up, YouTube? So earlier today, I was listening to a song, right? Like, there's two songs that I want to put together. No, actually three. I'm gonna put it all together, but it kind of like correlate with each other. But earlier, I was listening to this song by LMI. I think that's her name, LMI or LMA. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's called Little Things, right? And it's basically picking up the phone, and calling somebody, I don't know if it's like a love interest or friend or a family member, whatever, you know what I'm saying? She picked up the phone, called somebody and asked them how they were actually doing, right? And that cut deep because it's like, nowadays, you don't get that, you know what I mean? You don't get people that call you and just simply ask how you were doing, how you doing today, like, you know what I'm saying? You doing all right? Like, what's on your mind? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you thinking about? What's your goal for today? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody calls you for drama, or let me borrow some money, or could you do this for me? A favor, drama, favor, or money, you know what I'm saying? It's never really like meaningful, like, you know what I'm saying? Call and ask how you doing, like, you know what I'm saying? Could we go get lunch today? Could we go do something today? Like, you know what I'm saying? Could we make some money together? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can we get to the next level? Like, what's your goal so we can get to the next level, right? And it hit me deep because it's like, I wish I had that back in the day when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I had them type of phone calls, like them type of friend groups that would call and ask how you doing, because there was times where I wanted to talk to somebody and I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? I had to be creative. You know what the funny thing I did to be creative? I had, when I was growing up in the 90s and in the early 2000s, you guys would probably know about the Nextel beepers, right? The Nextel chirpers. So I would just put in a chirp number and I would chirp random people, you know what I'm saying, and wait till they answer. And I used to do this on the phone book too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll just call random residents, prank calling, you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to talk, you know what I'm saying? Just wanted to talk. And it was just random strangers. Like, I didn't even know these people, like, you know what I'm saying? And I would just do that just to have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I met so many people doing that, which is kind of funny to say, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would branch out, chat online, you know what I'm saying? Or chirp, And then I had the walkie-talkie things, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how the big red semi-truck drivers, they got their walkie-talkies and stuff where they be talking back and forth with each other and stuff. I forgot what it's called, the TV radios, I had one of those. And it was just like, communication was a big deal to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, communicating with other people and just like, it made a big difference, You're not just like alone in your thoughts by yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a problem being alone in my thoughts or whatever, because like, I do it all the time, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm always alone in my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, I don't have a problem with that, but sometimes it's like, it's always good to have a partner or a person to call on the phone and just like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? What you got going on today? Let's link up. Let's go get lunch. You know what I'm saying? Let's go do this. A best friend. You know what I'm saying? And like, my mom's my best friend. But it's always good to have somebody like that's like around your age, or that's going through stuff too, similar stuff like you are in life, and just when to have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So picking up the phone and saying like the little things, like, hello, how's your day going? Like, starting off, and then it's just like, and then when she goes into it, you know what I'm saying? You can always say what's on your mind, shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it hits a home run there. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can always say what's on your mind. Like, you just always, you don't have to censor yourself. You can just be you. You know what I'm saying? And like, I had trouble doing that when I started making these videos, like censoring myself. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I didn't know how I was going to be taken. You know what I mean? And, as I can see now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy how, I'm not gonna get into that, but you guys see the results of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, being able to pick up the phone and even do this, you know, I'm starting to really love making videos like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, one day I just hope it means something. It means a lot to me. You know, even though I'm not really, even though it's like, it's kind of tough to really like put it all out there, you know, I'm trying, you know, but it's just like, just using this because maybe it touches somebody. You know, maybe somebody's gonna watch this later on, and you know, it's gonna touch them in a way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my personal story or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what I'm hoping for this. You know what I'm saying? But it's just somebody get me. You know what I'm saying? Somebody understands me. You know, they might not even say it, but I know somebody understands. I understand myself, but you know, somebody understands. You know what I mean? And like, you know, picking up the phone, you know, calling and just communicating and just, you know, saying like, hey, I'm there for you. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you need me, call me. I'm there for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even if you need a rant, you know, whatever you're going through in life, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever you're going through, you know, personally. Like, if you need to call me to vent, you know what I'm saying? If you need somewhere to stay, like, you know what I'm saying? If you know, going through financial situations at your job or with your career or whatever it is that you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Pick up the phone, hey, how's your day going? You know? Like, little stuff like that witness makes the biggest impact. And I don't even know if anybody really understands that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking to the people, you know, that, you know, there's people out there now in the hoods and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, going through similar situations. Like, you know, they do stuff on a daily because nobody was there for them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody checked on them. You know what I mean? They may have a few people, you know, but like they're, you know, they got into so much trouble because nobody was there for them. Like actually there, like actually in their corner, like, hey, I got you. You know, I see so much bigger stuff in you. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Let's try this. You know what I'm saying? It's not basically trying to persuade them, but it's just like, you know, somebody that's there in their corner that actually really cares and shows that they care, you know? I'm not gonna try to get like super deep and emotional and shit like that, like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, this is something that, you know, needs to be talked about, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's the type of parent that I want to be, is like, listen, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my kids is going to be, they're going to one day be grown adults and they're going to make their own decisions. But, you know, I'm going to try to be there as a parent, as a father, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, like, you know, I know what you're going through. Like, I've been through that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you don't have to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because there's times where I got so pissed off at other people at school for being bullied. Like, you know what I'm saying? I took a belt and an extension cord to school. You know what I'm saying? I was going to beat somebody's ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my dad can tell you that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, like, he got calls. I was on the verge of being expelled for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I was being bullied. You know what I mean? And, like, you know, if my kids go through that, because, you know, I can send them down before that even happens. Because you know, who knows, like, what could happen? You know, my kid could go to school and you know, a young lady or a young man or whatever could bully him, you know what I'm saying? And they don't know what to do. And they're only like 12, 15, 13 years old, you know what I'm saying? And they can, you know, get upset like how I did. It's like an extension cord, or they could do something, take a gun or something, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever from a random stranger on the corner, you know what I'm saying? And they could do something harmful. And before that happens, you know, I want to be that parent to step in, like, yo, hold on. Like, we ain't doing this. What are you doing? Like, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give them advice on how I can handle that, or how they can handle that situation. Instead of them going to jail forever, you know what I'm saying? Instead of having a beautiful life to live. Because life is precious. You know what I'm saying? The life we got now is precious. You know, take full advantage of it. live it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because there's times where I was just a zombie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was there in the world. I was there in the world, but I wasn't present. Like, I wasn't living. You know what I'm saying? I was just asleep the whole entire time. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was physically awake, I was just spiritually asleep. You know what I'm saying? And like, life is so precious. You know what I'm saying? Of course you're going to have your bad times. Of course you're going to have your good times. Of course everything is going to be great. And there's going to be bad times and stuff. That things like this happen. It's called life. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, for the message to my children, like, you know what I'm saying? Don't take life for granted. You know? Don't, because life is very precious. You know what I mean? And, just think about stuff before you do it. If you feel like you need to talk to somebody, of course I'm your dad, but I'm your best friend too. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna always tell you the truth. I'm not gonna steer you wrong. You can talk to me or your mama, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just real talk. So yeah, there's another song too called I Want You Around. Oh, I want you around. Something like that. It's I forget what it's called. It's called I Want You Around. Something like that. I could look it up when I'm done with this, but I'll put the link in the description of that song. Just having somebody there, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you don't just want the phone call, you want them to show up. You know what I'm saying? You can go over there, you know what I'm saying? It works both ways. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can call somebody, they could call you. You know what I'm saying? And you can just show up and you just connect. You know what I'm saying? On a deeper level. And it's just like, I want you around means stay. Don't leave. Like, stay. Don't just show up one day. It's like, okay, well, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Now what? You gotta be that. You gotta stay there. You gotta, you got to be in that person's life, make a significant difference in that person's life, and that's what I plan to do. You know what I mean? Like, just show up, show the person that you care, that you love them, that you care, and you care so much about them. You know what I'm saying? And you're just there to stay. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, like, even through the hard times. You know what I'm saying? Even if it don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Even if it just, it don't make sense right now, but, it will later on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just so that to have a situation where, that person can easily say, like, you were there. When everybody else counted me out, you stayed. And that's what's going to matter the most, is you staying. You showing up and you staying and you putting your foot down and you showing them this is who you are and this is what you stand for. That's what matters the most, And yeah, and then there's another song called On Me by Nelly and Janet Jackson. Like, basically taking it back to the LMA song. You know what I'm saying? You could call on me, yeah. It's basically the same thing. Like, just picking up the phone, having a thought, like, let me call them. Let me ask them how they doing. You know what I'm saying? What's up with you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you doing today? You know what I mean? You good? Do you need something? You know what I'm saying? You want to go out and grab some ice cream, grab a burger, grab something, I don't know, some fruit, some vegetable, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever floats your boat, you know what I'm saying? Or you just want to just talk, you know what I'm saying? And I listen type shit, like, I don't know, but you get what I'm trying to say, like, you know what I'm saying? Communication plays a big role in life, And I just hope if anybody watching these videos, they understand where I'm coming from, But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video. There's probably going to be more that I want to talk about, and this always happens. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I get off the video, or end the video, then I start thinking about other stuff, and I'm like, man, I should have said that. I should have said this, or I should have did this. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? But I think I'm going to end this here. You know what I'm saying? And if there's anything that I needed to say, I probably will say it in another video. You know what I'm saying? So this isn't the end. It's going to be plenty more videos to come. And yeah. So I think that's it. And yeah. So from our house to yours, keep moving forward. Peace.